Welcome back to the Pistol Report. I'm John Francois, the Senior Instructor for Archangel Technologies. In our last video, we covered the double single action semi-automatic pistols. And we're going to do a quick refresher, but first let's do our 4 rules of gun safety. The firearms are always loaded. Don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Know your target and what's beyond it, and never let the barrel point at anything you're not willing to destroy. So moving right along, as you remember, if you recall, the double single action semi-automatic functions based upon the hammer being moved back, which is one action, and then forward, which is another, making it a double action. The firearm is carried with the hammer down, round in the cartridge in the chamber, ready to shoot. When the trigger is pulled, the first round is double action. After it cycles, then the hammer is cocked for you by the movement of the slide. And each round after that will be in single action also, till you stop shooting and decock the firearm. So now that we've had that refresher, let's move on to the single action only 1911 type firearms. Okay, they come in different sizes and styles. Now, the big key is that all of the 1911s have similar features. Little variations like ambidextrous safeties can be added. They're very easy to customize, very accurate, and so it's a very popular firearm. The only problem with it is it also can be dangerous to those who don't know the firearm and train with it, because it usually comes with a very light trigger pull. So let's take a look at it. The basic points that we have to cover are: it has all the same components of any other handgun and pistol: barrel, front sight, slide, rear sight, trigger guard, trigger. Now this sticking out is something that when you start taking apart your particular firearm, if it's a semi-automatic pistol, a guide rod. That's how the slide goes back and forth with a spring tension. But we'll cover that another time. So also you have the magazine well in the handle, the grips, and the injection port. So let's get to it. The firearm is generally carried with the hammer back, manual thumb safety engaged, and the feature that I've always appreciated about the 1911s is right here in the beaver tail, right under the tang. This is a palm grip safety. If your hand isn't on this safety, the firearm will not function even when the safety is off. So we'll demonstrate right now. It's in a cocked position, hammer's back, safety is off, and I'm depressing the trigger. It will not fire until that palm grip safety is down, and then the firearm will function. So that is a pretty unique to the 1911 type pistols. So other than that, it is single action only. So when this pistol is ready to shoot, thumb safety on, once you unlock the thumb safety and you're ready to go, you pull the trigger, then the slide actually locks the hammer back for you each and every time, just like the modern double single action semi-automatic pistols. They will lock it to the rear for you. So once again, each time you draw the firearm and you're using it, and you take that safety off and your hand is on that grip safety, you pull the trigger, bang, it goes off and it cocks the pistol for you. Now, once you're done shooting, you don't need to lower the hammer. All you need to do is re-engage your thumb safety, place the firearm down or back in its proper holster, and you're done. So a quick review. It's single action only, which means the hammer must be back. Now, just for purposes of training, I'll mention there are pistols that look similar to 1911's, and the easy way to tell that it's probably not a 1911 is if you can see the trigger on a 1911, and let's get another one so you can see it. If you can see this, the trigger on the 1911 actually recesses and moves back into the frame. On a modern double single action pistol, the trigger has a space behind it. You can see through it. That's because the trigger travels and it does not recess. Most of the time when you have a trigger that goes back into the firearm, that's an indication that it's a 1911. Now, Smith & Wesson used to make a very large frame 4506 that looks similar to a 1911, very large 45 caliber semi-automatic pistol. The only difference is that the trigger did not recess into the frame, and when you pulled the trigger, it was double action first round. So for now, we're going to stop there, and if anybody has any questions or comments, please put them in the section below, and I'll get back to as many as possible. Thank you, and see you next time.